Hi guys, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about why Judge Ratha was angry at Ramsipile way before they started their arguments. Because you remember that on Friday last week, Baloyi filed his arguments, and then on Monday the defense responded. So that means Judge Ratha already has the argument. He saw them, and that also gave me an idea that okay, because I'm not a legal anything, guys. So I kind of understand now. So the judge, before even the arguments start, he already has them on his table, might have read them and understood and then made up his mind. By the time the lawyers, the state and the defense are doing their arguments on in court on a record, he already knows what they wanted to say. Do you understand? So that is why now I'm like, oh, I understand sometimes when he comes with his written judgments or rulings sometimes, because he already has that on the table. I don't know if that one is legal or not. I'll find out for him to come with written what you call rulings or verdicts, whatever that he is, because there was a time that he said, I already written. Yeah, so we'll find out if that one is something that is normally done. So last week we were angry at Ramusipile, but it seems like he pulled the first one on Judge Ratha because he was not happy at all yesterday morning, way before the drama happened. There was a mini drama regarding the arguments of Ramusipile. Here is why. Our Uncle Genius Philos has given us a thread on that. Let's get into it. Why Factors Officio broke the judge on live TV. For those of you interested in why he was so angry at Ramusipile even before they resumed arguments, Advocate Ramusipile didn't just throw a Latin phrase today. He dropped a judicial nuclear bomb, factus officio, and Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng reacted like someone who realized the grenade wasn't rhetorical but procedurally fatal. Why the panic? Because factus officio means once a judge makes a final decision, they can't reverse or reopen it unless the law expressly allows. In other words, your ruling stands, no take backs. Basically, this is what the smart advocate Mnisi argued. On the 27th November, Ratha ordered a word he denied on record that the state must prove the statement before cross-examining Gwabin. Baloyi ignored, Nisi objected. Then suddenly, the order magically became a ruling. Okay? By calling the judge factus officio, Ramusipile was saying, you already made the final decision last Thursday. You can't secretly reverse it just because the state doesn't like it. That's why Ratha went red, because the doctrine exposes his flip-flop as procedurally irregular, prejudicially, enabling the state, and contrary to judicial ethics. I love it. Ramusipile played Judge Ratha last week, and we were angry at him. He was like, listen, you all, you know nothing about this. I'm going to show you. He came back, dealt with us, and cut the head of Judge Ratha. Not in a literal sense, not in a but cut because he's there. He's fine. Judges hate being accused of overstepping or worse, bending for a party. Factus officio implied exactly that. He tried to undo his own final order to save Baloyi. Remember when Mnisi objected on Thursday, he said, you cannot ignore the court's order. Ratha got defensive. Now Ramusipile escalated it by saying, Judge, you can't even change that order now. You are factus officio. Hey, we are learning. We are learning here. Okay, we are learning. And this wasn't a small jab. It was a direct allegation that the judge made a final order, unlawfully reversed it, aided the state's evasion, and compromised the fairness of the trial. And then Judge Rata was not happy. He was like, fix it now, fix it now. And then he went to what is happening? Must prove it. And that's why before even letting Baloyi speak, Ratash snapped, explained this functious officio, a whole judge demanding definitions like a student caught skipping lectures. He was visibly angry. That was laughable. It appears that he didn't read it earlier. Okay. So he did not? Okay. Functious officio also exposes the deeper issue. Rata let the state dictate procedure. Baloyi said, I won't prove the statement. I want to argue instead. And the judge folded, as he always does when it favors the state. That's why Ramusipile's argument stung. It wasn't hypothetical. It highlighted that the judge surrendered his authority to the prosecution. In legal terms, judicial abdication. When a judge reverses a final order without a formal application, reasons, or exceptional circumstances, it creates grounds for appeal, mistrial, recusal, or Section 34(2)(a) irregularity. So imagine being on the bench and suddenly counsel says you can't entertain this application because you are functious officio. Translation, you are acting outside the law right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. This, the timing made it worse. This came minutes before Baloyi froze, started trying to explain today's objectives, arrest of Kwabini's companions. The last thing Rata needs is a legal expose by advocates. I just hope Ramusipile toughens up a bit. The doctrine also cornered the judge because if he accepts he made an order, he is functious officio. If he denies it was an order, he must explain why he misled Missy and courtroom last week. Either way, he loses. This is why he overreacted, not because the phrase is offensive, but because it revealed a procedural contradiction he hoped nobody noticed, but the defense noticed. We all noticed. Advocate Mnisi highlighted it right there, even when he was insulted. The judge's job is to control the court. But on Thursday, it looked like the court and the state were controlling him. It looked like the court and the state were controlling him. And functious officio exposed that imbalance brutally. In a trial already made by Zungu repudiated statement, planted evidence claims, contaminated crime scene, coercive confession, psychiatrics in court. Now we have a judge accused of breaking procedural law. The cracks aren't cracks anymore. That is where we are right now. That is where we are right now. It's bad. It's not looking good. And the judge is not happy. So it looks like Ramusipile played the judge and she dealt with him yesterday morning. And we are going to hear today what's going on, who's doing what, etc., etc. And I must say, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And I pray that really Ramusipile stands for his business. He stands his ground and he does not let the judge take him left, right, and center. He focuses. I pray for that. I pray that he focuses. I pray that he becomes more, he becomes more stronger than usual. Anyway, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Are you still angry at Ramza right now? Or you are like, okay, let's let bygones be bygones. Let's move on. You've proved yourself otherwise. Thank you so much, Ramsipile. Thank you, Bhuti Siyabulela. You played us. You played the judge also. See you on our next video. Bye-bye.